This is where I love to butt in.
Guess you can't lose it, I can never find.
I also think that great advice gets lost if it's the wrong time.
Dialogue over drama?
Welcome to Dialogue Over Drama. This is episode 61. I am Dialogue Danny.
You're here with Courtney Drama.
And today, we actually ended up talking about the cons of being in an age gap relationship. We went through a list, and it was a lot of fun to just kind of say what related, what didn't. And yeah, it was fun. And apparently I wasn't a shitty predator controlling boyfriend, which is always a good thing.
No, I disagreed with a lot of the cons that you had. I mean, not because...
You bet your fucking ass you did.
Yeah. No, not because that they're not real. They just didn't really apply to us. But they definitely were applicable to a lot of people, I think.
We could see a lot of the people that we could be, we know people that this is the case. We know, like we've seen situations like that. How would you feel if it was the other way around, where I was older than you? I would be fine with it. If you were the same person you are now, I'd love it.
Mm. Would you constantly make references about how old I'm getting?
No, because I'd like fucking, having someone let me see them naked. And you know how you don't let someone see you naked and be like, hey, you're old.
You're so old.
Yeah, even though you do it all the time to me.
I know.
So, well.
Yeah, you don't have a single gray hair on your head.
I know I don't.
Maybe two.
I have Paul from Dog is Blue?
No.
Okay, so this is a great band. You would know him to see him. He was making a comment about, he's like, why the fuck don't you get gray? And he was mad at me for it.
Oh.
And even he's just salt and pepper, and I'm like, he looks fucking dashing. Anyways, I have a fun little thing for you. These are jingles. Okay.
Okay.
Do you know what a jingle is?
Yeah, like a little song.
I love how you went, you made the dashy moves.
Like a little jazz hands, little ding ding.
So apparently these are from the 60s, which I don't really believe. And it says, I'm gonna read the line and I want you to sing it if you know it. My Bologna has a first name. Mm-hmm. Do you know the jingle? My
Bologna has a first name. Na, 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 na. I don't know.
My Bologna has a first name. It's O.C. blah, blah. It spells Oscar.
Oh, no.
Okay. I don't want to grow up.
And?
I'm a Toys R Us kid.
Oh.
No? Okay. Give me a break. Give me a break.
Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat.
Well done. You forgot the word bar. Genius. The best part of waking up
is Folgers in your cup.
Folgers?
Isn't it Folgers?
Is it Folgers? It's Folgers.
Folgers?
Okay.
Oh, wait. The best part of waking up is Folgers. Oh, it's probably Folgers.
Yeah, there you go.
Folgers.
Okay, you ready? Yeah. This was my favorite thing as a kid. Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Nope.
And sometimes you don't. Sometimes you feel like a nut, and sometimes you don't. It's just a great line. I'd like to teach the world to sing. I have no clue either. I didn't know that one. Reach out and touch someone.
Reach out and touch me.
No. I don't know that one either. If you dare wear short shorts.
Who wears short shorts?
No.
I wear short shorts.
No, I don't know that one either.
Know.
They're magically delicious.
I don't know.
Wouldn't that be isn't Lucky Charms magically delicious?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Meow, meow, meow,
meow. Meow, 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 meow,
yeah,
meow,
exactly.
Meow, meow, meow. Yeah, but what is that though? What, the fucking Temptations or
Meow
something?
Mix.
Oh.
It's Meow Mix. These are jingles, remember?
Yeah.
You say the Temptations, Okay. Plop, plop, fizz, fizz. Oh, what a relief it is.
I don't know.
Alka-Seltzer.
Oh.
So kiss a little longer. Hold hands a little longer. Stay close a little longer.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was a gum commercial. I should have looked up the answers before I did this game. That was a fun little trip down memory lane.
And I'll never know what they were, like some of those.
Is it going to keep you awake at night?
Probably.
Okay, I'll let you go. All right, so we're going to get into this one episode, not two-parter.
Yeah, kept it short and sweet.
Sorry about that. All right, let's change the channel.
Change it up.
We're not doing an intro. We're going right into
I can never find.
All right, so I came across an article about age gap relationships, and also the two of us have been watching that
Age of Attraction
show on Netflix, which once we're done the season, we'll definitely have a recap on it, which will be a lot of fun. But I came across an article, and it was talking about the cons of age gap relationships.
Okay.
So I took that and I just threw it into AI, and I just kind of went through because it was an easier way to just find a generic list, right?
Mm-hmm. That's what Did this article that you read talk about the gap of the age, 20 years, 10 years?
No, it was just, it was a very generic kind of thing that I saw. It was something stupid, like along the lines of BuzzFeed or something like that. It was just something that I just, I didn't read the full article. I just started reading it and then got the idea, I just might as well do this.
Okay.
So so what I put into to look for it, I put the cons of age gap relationships. Okay, so here are the internal challenges. And the whole idea why I want to kind of go through this is you're 13 years in now to this relationship pretty much. Now you can look back on yourself being a younger person in the age gap relationship. So I just want to see because these were all the things that I was very scared of fucking up early on, right? So here we go. One is a power imbalance. A significant gap often means the older partner has more life experience, financial resources, and social status. This can lead to an authoritative dynamic where the older partner makes most decisions, potentially making the younger partner feel dependent or invalidated. What do you think of that?
I think that's a true statement. And I think it depends on.
I know what I'm asking is, do you you're the younger person in an age gap relationship? Is this something that you felt? Is this something that worried you? Is this?
Yeah, no, that is, but that's what I'm saying. I agree with that because I think in the beginning of our relationship early on, there definitely were some power struggles where either it was me as the younger person coming into life situations where I didn't know what to do, so you automatically look to the older person for guidance and things like that, or the older person automatically kicks in a high gear of making those decisions and those calls and kind of overseeing situations because of their life experience. I mean, you from the get-go had, I would say, a healthy balance of when to use. I don't even say power trip because I think the word. Can you
give me an example?
I don't know. I would say social situations would be the biggest one where I feel like you were able to kind of coach me in a way. And I don't want to say power trip because you were never, power trip always sounds like you were aggressive about it or whatever. I think there were situations in a social setting where you kind of would dominate and take control as a way to protect me from potential embarrassment coming across almost so young.
Right.
Or but you did it in such a nurturing way because I remember again, I don't have specifics. I just can picture settings and I'm talking about the old Winking Judge bar that we used to always go down to. I can picture being in situations where I was young and I was having conversations with your group of friends or with other people. And I think you understood what it is I was trying to say, and you would kind of help steer the conversation into a way so that other older people as well would respect me equally.
Right.
And I feel like you also worked really hard at portraying me in such a light so that I was accepted and respected by older people who maybe were a little she's a little young for you, or those kind of social norms. I would say that's where your quote unquote power trip of I'm older, I'm whatever, life experience. Other than that, everything else you kind of just let me figure out on my own. So I don't think that really was a con, but I can see in other relationships.
Oh, no, absolutely. It's absolutely. I'm looking at someone, like, obviously there's people that will have this as a con, but like when I go through the list, I want you to be like, was this a con in the relationship, or was there points like you have your valid feelings?
Yeah,
like
that one
said.
I don't think is like a big con in our relationship.
Okay, so life stage disconnect. Partners may be vastly different. Partners may be at vastly different developmental stages. One might be focused on career growth or finishing education, while the other is nearing retirement. This can lead to conflicting goals regarding home ownership, travel, and starting a family.
Yeah, I think that is definitely a con in our relationship. Again, I think so far, this is now the second one that you're reading, on a very mild level. When I met you, I was in very early stages of career development. You were...
As in you were working part-time at a
No, I know.
I'm
talking about
that
like,
was ripping off your career.
Yes,
like ripping off your tips.
Skip that one. I'm talking about when I got into the financial industry.
But you just said when I met you.
Okay.
So
Just
to be very, very clear.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Early on in our relationship, when I started kind of having career growth and working on that, that obviously was very different of my life stage versus yours, where you had been already stable in a company for like 15 years at that point or whatever. So definitely there was that difference. Also, then when it comes to like kids and goals overall, I would say absolutely in any age gap relationship, for the most part, you are going to have developmental differences, difference in goals, different stages of life. And I'm not saying because you're in an age gap relationship, you can't be on the same page. But looking back on our almost 13 years together, there's no way where you would have been when you met me. Sure, you'd be ready for kids. There's no way I was.
No, and I was actually gonna jump in and say, with this is something I've been thinking a lot about. I'm like, I think part of the reason that us being an age gap relationship really worked well is I had reset myself a year before I met you, and I'm like, I'm just going to start thinking like I'm 20 and redo relationships a different way. I'm going to redo friendships a different way. I'm going to redo so many things. And that was my goal for the whole time I've been dating you now, is all of those things. Like, whether you were here or not, it would have been a lot harder if you weren't here. But that was my mindset. And you can see that in me, like knowing me over the years.
Yeah, I think you've done so much growth.
That both of us kind of were mentally at the same, not mental age, but we were both at a point where I was like, something isn't working in my life and I need to do something different, and I'm going to do something different.
Yeah.
And I kind of forced my way into that, and it seemed like when I met you, you were in that same kind of, the whole world's in front of us. What do we want to do?
Exactly. I mean, definitely a fear that I have is because having 13 years between us, well, 13, almost 13, 8 months, I don't know, 14, whatever, over a decade, like, I definitely know, like, looking back, like, okay, me in my 20s, you know, wasn't ready to have kids. You could have been in your 30s. And then now here I am in my 30s, you're in your 40s. I have this fear that, not saying that you don't want kids, but I feel like the longer we wait, that window is also closing for you, because you're like, I'm not saying that there aren't happy older parents out there, but it doesn't, like, I don't know, does it get easier the older you get? Is there times where you look at being like a parent in your 50s?
To put that just to rest in your brain, I've been thinking about that a lot, because like my birthday is a week ago today. Is
45.
Cool, 45. There's something about me where I'm like, I've wanted to be a father my whole life. It's just nothing's lined up for it to work out. Like, you see the way I talk to kids. You see how much I just want to grow. I want to be better. Like, when I see someone relying on me, I exponentially get better. And like, I want to give, and I want to give, and I want to give, and I want to grow, and I want to make amazing. So like, it's everything in me. That's what I want. So something that I've wanted my whole life, if I like find out, okay, we're going to have a kid, blah, 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 blah. The point of getting to that point, once I'm there, I know that there's nothing that's going to stop me.
Right.
Like, so that doesn't like age doesn't scare me in that aspect.
No,
like,
and I get that, but
but I know I 100% understand. Like, I also do the math of if I had a kid right now, my kid's turning 20 when I'm 65.
Yeah,
like
right.
like I know the math.
Yeah,
I know the math.
The math
like I'm
is
not
facts.
dumb.
Yeah. So definitely, I think that's like a con for sure. Is when you're in an age gap relationship, so many factors like kids, work, goals, travel, like all of them may not align.
Right.
And I think there is a lot of areas in our relationship that have really never aligned.
Right.
At least for the earlier parts of my 20s, because of who I was versus you in your 30s was just different life experiences. Like, there's a lot where I really want to do something and you're like, awesome, have fun. I've been there, I've done it. It's not my cup of tea.
Right.
And I'm like, okay. And like, those things I feel like suck when you have a partner who doesn't really have that same excitement and enjoyment to try those things because they've already done them and they just know they don't like them or whatever. So like,
here's a weird thing about, like, one of the things that's in there is travel. And here's like a weird thought that I've been thinking, just to kind of go off topic for 2 seconds, but keep me reined in, is when you went away with your family to the Dominican, I'm like, there's been a lot of thinking I've done since then. And I'm like, I know financially it would have been dumb for me to go because I'm so fucking nitpicky on, like, I don't want anyone paying my way. Mm-hmm. I don't want, like, I get, even like with you, I get fucking freaked out about it. Even though, like, yeah, like I get weird about it. I know that I could have been like, hey, I really can't afford to do this. If I do this, like, you're going to have to help me cover other things. Mm-hmm. Like, if you want me to go with you, mm-hmm. because, like, I feel bad that you're traveling and I know you're still traveling and I love that for you. I think that's great for you. But in the same hand, I'm like, if it meant so much that you wanted me there because you would want to go with your partner to be able to go travel, that, like,
at least once with you.
For me, there's like that stubbornness in me that's like, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it on my own merit, which has stopped me from doing so many things in life.
Right. Where like a yearly family trip might now be an option, like what my family will always offer. And so to know to, like, at least do that once with you. But
sure.
At the same time,
like, I just wanted to, like, add that, like, mm-hmm. fact that I've realized about myself into your mix on how you feel about it. Yeah. That's the communication thing. So anyways, okay, let's go on to the next one. Generational gaps. Difference in cultural references, communication styles, and values can cause misunderstandings. One partner may not understand why the other's childhood media references or social norms, creating a barrier relating to each other's peer groups.
1000% is a con.
In the beginning.
It still is. I feel like, yeah, okay, I know. I'm never going to know.
You know, it goes both ways.
True. Yeah, actually, you're right. Because, yeah, you're never going to be as cool as me and understand all those young lingo.
Oh, some of my favorite things in being in an age gap relationship.
Sorry, go ahead.
Is this. You meet them, they're younger, and they're like, I'm so hip with everything. I know what all the sayings mean. You don't even know what these mean. It sounds weird when you say that. Why would you even say that? Like, that's a younger person's thing. Da, 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 da. And then I'm like, you wait. Because you're just a couple years later, you're going to be like, what the fuck are these kids talking about? This doesn't even make any sense.
You like leave high school, you're like, what?
And I'm like, it's going to really, really... I didn't date you in high school.
No, I just mean for me, like, that's when it stopped for me, is I stopped being cool once I wasn't in, like, the clique of...
But then I would explain to you, like, in a joking way, as being someone being like, trust me, this is what's going to suck. And, like, I would almost make a humorous point of view, because, like, I remember the first time I realized I didn't know what a saying meant. I was devastated. I'm like, I'm not cool anymore. But I just wanted to, like, already give you the hilarious fucking idea of it. So it didn't bug you. And you did, like, you've never had most women will be really like, oh, I'm so old. Mm-hmm. I don't think you've ever had that. Like, you almost embrace, like, your maturity level. Like, you roll with people so much higher than you that you're just like, yeah, I'm the age I am. Fuck you.
Yeah, I love the age I am. And there's nothing about looking back at, like, I'm never like, oh man, I wish it was my 20s again. Why? Because then I would have missed out everything I did at 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. Like, I'm always just like working really hard at just being present. Like, I just love right now. Cool. I like looking back at, like, everything I've accomplished each year, but definitely I think, like, the whole, like, what's pop culture and generationally different things. Like, I mean, it blew your mind in the fact that Kurt Cobain died before I was even born. So there's a lot I missed out on.
So what's funny about it is, like, it also talks about communication. I'm like, because communication style definitely would be a problem, I would assume, in a lot of age gap relationships, because people, like, if you look at, like, could you hold a conversation with a 20-year-old right now?
Yeah.
On a day-to-day basis? Like I'm just saying you're good at communication. I'm just saying most 20-year-olds aren't. So if you have the average 20-year-old trying to communicate with
I definitely understand, like, the communication styles
being different.
For sure. Because there's times where, like, to your point, I've tried to have conversations with some kids, and like I say kids.
So the point that I'm trying to make is, when I see two totally different views of pop culture, I just look at that as hours of conversation. And I think that's what you and I did when we first started dating. We would spend so much time playing cards or playing gin rummy and just, like, learning about what we appreciated about our pop culture.
Right.
Going back and forth. So, like, it's a huge avenue of conversation. So, like, for being a con seems weird for me. Now we are entering the long-term and health concerns. Are you ready? The older partner is likely to face age-related health issues sooner. This may force the younger partner into caregiving role earlier than expected and raises a risk of the younger partner being left alone following the older partner's passing. I think I'm going to be the one that's going to pass before you. Or you're going to be the one that's going to pass before me.
No, you always think that I'm going to croak first.
100%. That's what I mean.
Yeah. Again, depending on how big the age difference is. Do I think 13 years warrants the statement you just made as a con? No.
No.
People that are in, like, maybe a 20, 30-year age gap? Yeah, absolutely. I think the older person's going to have challenges. But yeah, no, because I think for our age gap, I don't see that as a con, because it really just comes down to how you take care of your body and health, right?
Oh, 100%.
And so even though, like, you have someone like me who doesn't really drink that much and I don't smoke anymore, I eat pretty well, but I'm sedentary. I don't move my body.
Right.
The fact that I sit 8 hours a day will kill me faster than my diet or my lack of cigarettes and alcohol. And then you have someone like you who moves day in, day out, getting your heart pumping, getting things flowing, but you smoke cigarettes and you drink.
Yeah.
And you eat a lot of hot dogs. But, you know...
I almost started a hot dog at the restaurant today.
But, like, so, you know, so I don't know. I think that comment... It's unfair to say, unless it's a really, really big age gap.
It is something that, like, obviously I think about, and I'm sure it crosses a mind, but I wouldn't call it a con until it becomes a con.
And also, everything we're talking about is from the standpoint of
the average person.
The man being older, right? That this
this
whole thing.
It could be female.
No, but so then my answer would kind of change, because then if we're going the other way, where it's like the woman is older than the man, then the only thing I would throw in there is, like, okay, obviously, like, reproductive health changes and, like, the things that are out of your control.
Oh, right.
But from the man being older, like, other than, again, everyone's diet's different, everyone's this, the things that are out of control are, like, hormonal changes and...
Right. Okay. Next one. We kind of covered it already. Fertility and family planning. If the couple wants children, the older partner declining fertility or health can create challenges. Controversially, an older partner who has already had grown children may have no interest in raising a new family.
Yeah. No, I can, like, that doesn't really apply to us so much. The only thing that kind of does is I sometimes feel, and we haven't really gone deep into this conversation, nor have I provided you my findings, but I think when you have a partner who is older and still does want to have kids, the information and the values and or thoughts, whatever they have about fertility, I feel like you're a little bit stubborn on. And because I know in the past we've had, like, very just kind of high level conversations about, like, you and I wouldn't ever really go through fertility treatments because, like, well, one, it's, like, super expensive and it's got to be, like, so fucking stressful to kind of go through. And I know you and I agreed on that from that standpoint. But there's a lot of things that I think can be done from a fertility perspective trying to conceive, that I have fears, maybe because you're older or maybe because you're stubborn, maybe because whatever, that, like, you're just like, nope, I'm not interested, and you may categorize that into the same.
Those thoughts you're dealing with contradict everything you know about me.
And I know I haven't really gone over them with you, like, and we're also not in.
I'm glad that you agree with that.
Yeah.
That you're like, this is just something I'm thinking that it's not. Like, you don't actually.
Like I said, I haven't even approached those conversations with you.
Yeah.
I'm just assuming based off of like categorizing you as this whole like against fertility treatments that anything that if we were to get to would be shut down. But that's unfair for me to obviously assume because we're not there at that stage. But
no, I know.
I do think that sometimes, yeah, like when a partner is older, I think anything to do with kids, which we've already kind of covered.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
okay,
so.
The next one. Mm-hmm. Do you want to know how amazing you and I are? The third one.
The third, but we're only like the fifth.
Sorry, whatever. There's three different categories and three different questions. The third one in the second category. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Thanks for belittling me in the middle of me trying to praise this.
I wasn't really counting, but I definitely thought we're over 3.
We dealt with this an hour into our first date. We eliminated this third category completely. You ready?
Okay.
Higher divorce rates.
What do you mean?
I said to you on our first date within the first hour, I'll never marry you. I'm never getting married.
Yeah.
I will never marry you. If you think I'm going to change, this isn't going to work.
Right, yes, we eliminated that one.
So we eliminated that whole thing. But I'll read the category anyways. But high five to you and I. Some research indicates that couples with larger age gap, especially over 10 years, correlate with lower long-term relationship satisfaction and a slightly higher risk of divorce compared to similarly aged couples. Correlate. Fuck me, correlate.
Well, I mean, I just feel like the only reason that statistic would be accurate is because of all the other things you mentioned. Like, I mean, there are so many potential issues with an age gap. I mean, not even issues, but like hurdles or struggles or.
But I also think that this study, if I probably looked into it, would probably end up being there's an age limit because I don't think there's anything wrong with a 35-year-old dating a 45-year-old.
Right.
Like, I think it's more like 19, 29-year-old. And the 29-year-old just financially has a cool apartment, picks up a little college fuck toy, marries her because they look good in, like, pictures, and then, like, treats her like shit, and then she leaves.
Okay.
I assume that's where a ton of the fucking things come from.
I mean, let's just say any age gap where one person has a lack of emotional maturity. Yeah.
Sure, but I'm saying that, like, as you get older, you can recognize that. That's why I'm saying it's probably very young.
And I think anyone, like, to your point, that has, like, a lack of life experience. Because then if you went and grabbed a 30-year-old and a 50-year-old, chances are they might have a better success rate than the 19.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so now we go on to the last two. I'm sorry, there's only 2 in the last category. I lied to you. And it's the external pressures. Social stigma and judgment. Couples often face invasive questions, negative stereotypes, like gold digger or predatory, and public scrutiny. This external pressure can strain the relationship and impact mental well-being.
For us in the beginning, yes.
Absolutely.
Because I was 19 and you were
33.
32, 33, yeah. So definitely, I get that. I just find it really funny that people thought I was with you because I was a gold digger. I don't really know what gold I was digging for.
You were definitely not digging gold.
No.
But predatory.
I think you got a little bit more of that.
Absolutely.
But also, what's really weird... Well, no, that definitely a lot. I think if you looked and dressed the way you do now, then, no. Because even though I was, like, really young and have aged gracefully, you also dressed like an old man.
Yeah.
You were, like, fedora, sweater vests, like, your vibe... And maybe the ponytail is giving off a little predatory vibes.
Right.
That ponytail. But, like, yeah, I think your whole image, then with someone like me, it absolutely was obvious. I mean, even we've talked about this on past episodes, the whole Father's Day scenario at that cafe, right?
Absolutely.
So definitely awkward. But I think because of how you look now and how I look, like, people think we're near the same age.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, nobody, I'm letting the gray hairs come in. You dress like you're like a hipster. Like, it's totally...
But I was also, back then, the weird thing for me is I obviously knew the joke was there. I knew everything was there. I knew that, like, the people that were around me knew something was different in me in the way that I was with you. Like, because I was attached to who you were as a person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was the number one thing. So I wasn't going to change anything about myself.
Yeah.
Because I had already developed myself. So I'm like, I'm not changing anything because that's what I did before. And that was dumb. So I'm just going to stay who I am.
Yeah, I'm so glad you evolved to the person you are now, though.
But that's exactly what I mean. But you look at all the pictures through my life, I would have different, like, ways that I was, like, my different styles. Like,
oh, for sure. Like, I feel like you've done a, what do they call it? A full circle.
I've done a Benjamin Button.
Other than the bleached hair, like, for the most part, the whole, like, T-shirts and baseball caps is what you wore early on in your 20s.
Yep.
So I'm really glad you did a full circle there. Because I think who I am now, like, if I saw a man with a ponytail and a sweater vest...
You know what's funny is I could probably re-pull it off and you'd be fine with it.
Minus the fedora.
Yeah, I wouldn't wear a fedora now. Because, like, when I wore a fedora, nobody was wearing a fedora. It wasn't like, all these douchebags
I don't see anyone
now,
wear fedoras anymore.
Because you don't go to clubs.
Yes, I do.
You do. But you don't go to clubs with teenagers.
No, there's... Okay, first of all, teenagers don't go to clubs. But young kids, like young adults, yes, they don't anyway.
Yeah, anyways.
Interesting.
But there was an era where fedoras were everywhere,
Yes.
and it douchebagged the fedora.
Yes, because someone wore them with sweatpants.
And then the problem is I wore a fedora in a good time. Like, I look good with a fedora.
No, I'm not hating on
Anyways,
your
okay,
getup.
sorry. I'm getting... Yeah, when I wore a fedora before, I was douchebaggy. Just so the record knows. Family and peer disapproval. Friends and family may be skeptical or unsupportive, leading to strained relationships or social isolation for the couple. Relatably, with the partner's friend group can also be difficult.
Yes, absolutely. Because I think early on, my parents wanted nothing to do with you for the first few months. Because they're like, what the hell are you doing with this guy that's so much older? But also, I think from, like, a friend perspective, because... And even now, like, that's still a thing. Like, I'm not saying that you don't get along with my friends, or you haven't met my friends, or whatever. But, yeah, like, I think what's weird is because, like, for me being 31, I have friends that range from 26 to, like, 40.
Right.
But, like, so I think the lower end of, like, any friends that I have that are, like, a bit younger than me or right around my age, some of them don't get it. Like they wouldn't get, I think, as much enjoyment from hanging out with you as I do.
Right.
But also, like, they're not the friends that, like, I hang out with on a regular basis, because all of them, like, you know, and all of the friends I have actually are 35 plus.
Right.
So, but I definitely can see, like, from an age gap relationship, there being a lack of connection between friend groups. And then it goes the other way, because, again, back to the other point that you had, where I would be in, like, social settings with you and your friends, and now your friends are, let's say, 35 to 60. Yep. You have a huge range. I'm not...
Say 80.
Yeah, I'm not going to have the same connection, you know, or the same level of understanding. And I've been in those situations even to this day where we're in a group and everyone's cordial and everyone's chatting. And then someone brings up some old city news about something and you're just like, yeah, I remember that. And I'm like, I don't think I was around for that. Like,
right.
There's definitely still a lot that I miss when you talk to the older generation. So, yeah, that's definitely, I think, like, a bit of a con. But I think as long as each person respects each other's friend groups and stuff, like, it's...
One of the really cool on that topic that I was able to see you learn, like, just sit in the background and watch you learn, is I'm very picky about who my friends are. Like, I'm very picky about who I keep in my circle of friends, because I think friends are the equivalent to my family. Mm-hmm. And so when I first met you, like, friends were obviously, you met me with a big group of friends. Mm-hmm. You met me with knowing all these people, and your friend group was so ragtag, for a good term, like in your words, like, you're like, you were trying to figure out who's your friend and everything. And watching you go from that to learning and becoming friends in my friend group and what I value in friendship, of, like, honest conversation, genuineness, empathy, and everything that's there, you now being that kind of friend to other people that you're meeting.
Yes.
But learning how to be friends.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's so sad if... this doesn't even have to be an age gap comment.
No.
But I think when you're in a relationship with somebody and you don't have a strong friend group, work at it. Still try to have friends that you have met outside of the relationship, because, and I mean, in our case, I didn't have solid friends, and so a lot of my friends became your friends.
Yep.
And that's...
A lot of my friends became your friends.
Sorry, yeah. A lot of your friends became my friends. And I think that's great to a degree, but I think then you lose a bit of your own identity, because
Absolutely.
If that relationship doesn't work out, then you kind of feel like back where you started, where you have nobody. So even though a lot of my really good friends now have stemmed from like coworkers or other mutual friends or whatever, like I think that's just so important, and it just gives me such like autonomy and like an identity as like Courtney, not Courtney in a relationship with Dan.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And it's genuine friendship. Like it's like you learned how to be genuine friends, and then went out and then learned, because like learning how to be someone's friend is something I think a lot of people don't know how to do.
Yeah.
Like they have their best friend, and you're like, oh, why are you like, what makes you guys best friends? They're like, oh, we've known each other since we were 7, but they piss me the fuck off. They borrow money off me.
Yeah,
they do this.
What?
You're like, this is your friend? Yeah. Friends are just friends because of time, not genuine friendship. Mm-hmm. And I think it was cool watching you learn that and then apply that out. Mm-hmm. So yeah, so that was my little weird little thing.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
that was
great.
fun.
And I think it was just so on point with the show that we've been watching, which we should watch another episode tonight.
Absolutely.
Because that is crazy. No, that's amazing. I think if you're in an age gap relationship, I would love to know like what you think are some pros and cons. But leave us a comment over at Dialogue Over Drama, DIALOGOVERDRAMA.
There we go.
Yeah, like,
you can find
subscribe.
us on TikTok, Instagrams,
Spotify, Apple Podcasts,
and any kind of streaming service you were on. But everyone's so tired of hearing that, because if you love us, you would have done it already.
Yeah,
but that's okay. All right, I will see you guys next week. Ciao.
Bye.
I almost started talking to restaurant today.
But like, so I don't know. I think that comment.
Dialogue Over Drama is recorded in Stony Creek, Ontario. Original music provided by Allegories and Jesse James and the Medicine Show. This has been a Dialogue Over Drama production.